Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Pulse Central. I'm Mason. Today, we're looking at real scam stories that started with one simple mistake and ended with people losing thousands of dollars. Let's take a closer look.
Story time about how I'm getting scammed. Okay, as you guys know, I sell a lot of bags. I sell charms just from my own personal collection that I'm no longer using anymore, and I am just selling here to my followers pretty much. Well, I sold this girl a charm, and it was the Coach pretzel charm, right? I send it out based on the address that you give me. So she gave me her address, I sent it, and it got returned to me. And it looks like USPS forgot to put her apartment number on the label. So because of that, it got sent back to me, even though her apartment number was on the package that I wrote. I wrote her apartment number. The mailman in her area just didn't flip the package over to see that her apartment number was there. Instead, they just sent it right back to me. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, I got your package. It was sent back to me. I'm going to resend it out tomorrow. So sorry about that. I'll get it out to you. And her response to me was this right here. Pause to read. And so I responded back to her and I said, hey, I have no desire to keep this charm, which is why I'm selling it. I have no desire to keep, keep the charm and the money. Why would I do that? And she pretty much didn't say anything else past what I said. The next day, well, that was on a Sunday. It was Saturday night, I believe. So Sunday, the post office is closed. Monday, I go and I ship it out again. I bring it back to the post office and I say, hey, this is what happened. The mailman takes it. He fixes the label and writes the apartment number by hand on there so that I don't have to pay for shipping again. And so he fixes it, whatever, we ship it back out. He prints me out a receipt and it's the same tracking number. So I sent it to her and I said, hey, it's the same tracking number, but it's going back to you. I mailed it back out and she blocked me and she did a chargeback. So now my PayPal account is negative the $170 because I also charged her shipping. So super cool, super awesome. Love that. Hopefully PayPal sides with me, but follow for part two on me getting scammed. So guess whose package got delivered to her house today? Yep, you guessed it. She got the package. So how much do you guys want to bet that she's not going to unblock me and be like, oh my gosh, so sorry for the mix-up. I did get the package that you sent and you weren't scamming me. Yeah. What's crazy too is that I'm pretty sure that she's older and I know whatever, scamming doesn't have an age limit, but I just would expect it from somebody on Depop, somebody in their early 20s, okay, yeah, I'm gonna charge back, whatever. But also at the same time, go scam a big corporation. I was nothing but kind to her. I also did not have to say, hey, this package got sent back to me. I could have just turned around and sent it back out to her. But I wanted to be communicative about the whole thing. And so that's why I was like, hey, FYI, it got sent back to me, but don't worry, I'll take care of it and I'll send it back to you. So I don't know. It got delivered to her house today. Hopefully PayPal will see that and and hopefully I get my money back, but my PayPal account is still negative $170. So if you're seeing this, she has me blocked, but if you unblock me and you see this, it'd be nice if you canceled your fraud alert.
She did everything right, kept the buyer updated, resent the package, and still got hit with a $170 chargeback. But the story takes an even crazier turn when the package actually gets delivered.
I got scammed on Facebook Marketplace last week. Let me take this down real fast. Okay, back to the story. I was on Facebook Marketplace looking for a digital camera. I didn't know which one I wanted, so I was just kind of scrolling to see what popped up. And lo and behold, I see a Canon G7X for $89. I'm very aware of the hype of the Canon G7X because of TikTok, so I was wary of it being a scam. But whenever I looked at the person who posted its Facebook profile, it looked legit. It was an older lady named Leah who posted it, and her profile had posts of her and her husband, her kids, all the way back from 2015. Also had other Facebook listings that were sold as well, so I was like, this is real. I just figured that she was not aware of all the hype surrounding the Canon G7X, and she was like, oh, I'll just sell it for $89. But little did I know, at this point I feel like I hit the lottery because I saw the post whenever it first went up. But it wasn't a nearby city, so I was like, just get one of my friends to pick it up and mail it to me. She ends up responding and saying that she'll only ship it. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, perfect. And then the lady can just ship it directly to me. The lady says that we can use PayPal or Wise. Okay, I only use PayPal goods and services. Is that fine? Because I know if I get scammed, I can get my money back that way. And she says yes. She tells me to add an extra $7 for shipping, and she sends me her PayPal email address. This is where I should have realized her PayPal email address had a bunch of letters and numbers, and then at inbox.eu. EU usually means that they're from Europe, but I was like, I don't know, maybe she's from Europe originally, I don't know. Send her the money and it goes through, and then what do I see as soon as I send the money? That I successfully sent the money to Yusef. Now, who is Yusef? As this lady's name is Leah, her husband's name is James, and her son's names are not Yusef. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I just got scammed. And the person starts saying, did you send the money? It didn't go through. I don't see it. And they say, are you a scammer? And me, am I a scammer? I send the money. But pretty much at this point, I knew I got scammed. They stopped responding, and I immediately tell PayPal, I just got scammed, send me my money back. That's how I got scammed on Facebook Marketplace for a Canon G7X, which I was so excited to get. And of course, it was a scam. Just be wary of who you're sending money to online. Just make sure it's not a scammer.
Everything looked completely legit until one tiny detail exposed the entire scam. By the time she realized who actually got the money, it was already too late.
Do my skincare with me while I talk about the time I got scammed by a big brand. And I'll explain in a second what I mean when I say brand. So just a little context, this happened when I was freshly starting this account. I want to say like a couple months ago maybe. And I had absolutely zero clue about like PR and how it worked and kind of like the red flags to look for when brands reach out to you. And this event definitely made me do my research. One day I was checking my email inbox and I see an email from a really big brand asking if I wanted to be added to their PR list. And when I saw this email, I freaked out. It was a clothing brand I really adored and it was one of my dream collabs, so seeing that email in my inbox just got me so excited. At first, I kind of was like, this seems a little too good to be true. They said I could pick out 6 pieces every month and they would ship it right to me for free. And then they asked what my pay rates were. So I was looking over the email just to make sure, and I was looking at what they were giving me and what they were asking to receive from me. So I checked the email, and to me, it seemed like it checked out. It had a domain at the end of it and all of that, so it seemed legit, and the email was very formal. So of course, I proceeded and I responded and gave them my pay rate. This next part should have been a huge red flag for me, but they emailed me back and they doubled the pay rate that I stated in my previous email. But at the time, I was so excited. I thought this email was legit, and I was really excited to be getting paid a lot of money and getting free products. And this whole process seemed so legit to me. They had me sign a contract and all of this stuff and emails back and forth. Everything seemed like it was checking out. Until their last request for me was to cover a shipping fee, and they said that they would reimburse me after I paid for the shipping fee. But at this point, I was so far into it that I didn't really think much of it, which, huge mistake. They sent me their Venmo so I could send them money for the shipping fee, but the first time I tried it, it said it was not going through, which how did I miss these huge red flags in front of my face? I'm not really sure how. So then they give me another Venmo account to Venmo. I put my money in there, declined again. So I'm over here like, this is so strange. Is there something wrong with my card? No. While I was having problems with Venmo, they were sending me emails like, hey, like, get the money to us ASAP. Like, your package is being ready to be shipped out with all these other influencer packages. Like, we need your money ASAP so we can send it out, like, today. So I was freaking out over here. Like, nothing was going through to them. And then out of nowhere, they just ghosted me. And that's when I knew I was scammed. Definitely now I am a lot more cautious when it comes to receiving emails for collaborations because they tricked me so good. So my biggest piece of advice is to really thoroughly look at emails you receive from brands. Make sure that they are 100% legit. Look at the email, look at what they're asking of you, what they're giving you, all of that good stuff to make sure you do not get scammed. Because scammers are getting really good. I was so fooled.
She thought she had landed her dream brand deal, but the oversized payment, fake contract, and urgent shipping fee were all part of the trap. The excitement made every red flag easier to ignore.
You guys, I just got done with an interview and I should have done way more digging because pretty sure it was a scam. But first of all, I get on the Zoom call and there's 2 other people in my interview and I'm like, okay, whatever. One guy's literally in his car and the other girl's on the couch and I'm like, what is happening? And for a second I thought they worked here. Nope, they were also getting interviewed. I was like, what? And the guy literally goes, I did a lot of research on your company and I found out this was a scam, so thank you for your time, bye. And just ends and drops out of the call. So then he like is saying hello to me, like the guy who is doing the interview, and he's like, I don't know what that was about. And I'm just like, red flag. And so then the other lady who is, I guess, being interviewed, he is like, oh, like, what's your name? Like, blah, 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 your Zoom title is emergency phone or something. And she like said it and then she dropped out of the call. So now it's just me and this guy who is interviewing me. And I'm like researching this company even more like while he's talking because I'm like red flags are just going off left and right. And I applied for an event coordinator position. This man was talking about how I would start out entry level and then I would be promoted to account manager and then I could be a branch manager and then I can open my own branch wherever I want. And I literally, like, after he said his whole spiel, I was like, he asked me if I had any questions. I'm like, yeah, I'm honestly kind of confused. Like, I applied for an event coordinator position and what you're describing is nothing close to that. And so I just don't think like what I want aligns with what you guys are offering, unfortunately. So I don't think this will be for me. And I like said it kindly because I was like, what the heck? And he like immediately got off the phone. He was like, okay, have a good New Year, bye. And I was just like, oh my God. So then I did some digging. Apparently it's an MLM, which I didn't know what that was. I had to do like, this company has done a great job at hiding that they're a scam because there were so many good reviews. But then if you like kept digging and went on Reddit and like kept going deeper, it got worse. And I was just like, thank God for that first guy to say something that like put the red flag off in my head. And I hate that I was duped on a Thursday afternoon, but I guess that's the life of being unemployed, trying to find a job. But that was just insane. So watch out, people. There's so many scammers on LinkedIn. It's ridiculous.
The interview seemed normal until another candidate exposed everything and left the call. From that moment on, every answer only made the red flags impossible to ignore.
I was literally scammed by Pandora Jewelry for over $1,200. Not even scammed. They actually stole my bracelet and I need to talk about it. I've never wanted to make a video less, but I hate getting scammed even more. So if anything, this is my review for Pandora Jewelry. So my husband got me this bracelet for Christmas. This is our first purchase. We've never bought anything from Pandora. So I was really excited because I had nothing like it, but it ended up being a little bit too small. So I reached out the very next day, the day after Christmas, to Pandora, talked to somebody on the chat. They said you could return it in store or you could mail it back with the shipping label that they provided. So we went into the store a couple days later, waited 45 minutes. The manager at the store told me they would not return it because it was solid gold. And she said it would affect her store's numbers. It would bring her numbers down. So she wouldn't return it, that I would have to mail it back. That was really annoying, but I wasn't going to argue with her. So I packaged it, original packaging, box, everything, mailed it back. Because it was the holidays, I knew it was probably going to take a little while. Kept asking my husband, have you got an email for the return? No, never got an email. To this day, we've never got an email that they said they processed the return. We happened to be checking our bank statement and saw that we were given a refund of $100, $108, something like that. So we reached out again to Pandora, and that's when we found out. They said, yeah, we got your return of the charm. We're like, what? We got your return of the Hamsa hand charm, not the bracelet, a charm. And obviously that was wrong, and we were super upset because that's a big discrepancy in the price. And the reason I know that it's wrong is because I have the charm. This is the charm that they said we returned. This little charm. So obviously we told them, you know, I have the charm in my possession. We returned the bracelet. Can you guys look into it, investigate? No one ever got back to us. It's been weeks and weeks of trying to contact them, explain the situation. Finally, we got a hold of another supervisor, which was already so hard to get a hold of. There was a Pandora rep that told me there's no supervisors available, calling on a Monday at 9 a.m. So they looked into it and they basically did nothing. No investigation was done, and they said, nope, sorry, thanks for nothing. Just the whole thing is just so crap. Okay, wouldn't you know, I got an email from Pandora today. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and say the TikTok worked, because if it wasn't for you guys tagging them and commenting, I'm not sure if they would have responded. I've been waiting 3 weeks for a response. So I did email them all of the things that you guys told me about the package weight, the packing slip, filing a complaint with the state attorney general. And then I heard back. So they did say they were sending me a refund for the bracelet minus the $100 that they already sent me. Another little tidbit is we did buy the protection plan, which another thing that should have made it obvious that we returned the bracelet. But I guess we're just out that money. I don't know. And lastly, just want to say thank you for everybody that commented and liked the video. And I should leave the video up, right? Because to me, that is the worst customer service experience I've ever had to deal with, worst business practices, and I feel like people should be aware. I'm still never going to shop with them. They definitely lost a customer. And yeah, let me know if I should take it down or leave it up.
She thought it was just a simple return until the company claimed she mailed back the wrong item. Weeks of getting nowhere later, one viral video changed everything.
Hey internet, my name's Kira, and I can't say it out loud because it makes me ill, but I was scammed for a large amount of money, and I feel so dumb. I feel there are a lot of emotions. This was about 24 hours ago, and I'm still settling in, and I'm still trying to figure out what happened to me. But I just want to put this out here because I do not want this to happen to anybody else, because it is not recoverable. This wasn't a digital scam. This wasn't something that I can just tell my bank, hey, I didn't do this, and I get it back. This was so, like, I was dumb. You need to, think, I had a moment of dumbness, and they got me for my life savings. Sorry. I don't want to post myself crying on the internet, but I can't talk about this without crying. So I apologize for my emotions. I genuinely want to get this out there. If it saves one person, that's helpful. But if you know me, you think I'm really dumb now if you watch this, and that's okay. I just want people to know about the situation, because one less person would be nice. But let me get to it. So yesterday I get a call from my bank, and it was my bank's number. I Googled the number. I am like going like in my head, like, yes, that like back and forth, like, is my bank, is it a scam? I finally like tell myself, like, this is real. I Googled the number. This guy seems legit. Like, he's not asking me for any of my information. He's telling me that there's been fraudulent activity on my card and asking me if I am aware of a charge in Texas. I say, no, I'm not in Texas. I'm in Colorado. So that's happened to me before. And normally the next step is like they freeze my card and then I get sent a new one. But that was not what happened to me this time. He said, okay, I need to transfer you to our fraud department. They are going to bring you through the next steps. And okay, cool. So I get transferred. It's like a new number. I'm thinking it's real at this time, so I don't like Google this new next number. I'm just listening, and she's telling me that actually I'm a victim of identity theft, and that there's somebody in the bank using my ID or all the information on my ID to make a withdrawal of all of my money. And so I'm at this point starting to really panic. I am panicked beyond, I am a very anxious person, which I think that this definitely helped them get this scam, because once they got me into a state of panic, I don't know why, but I was all trusting of them, and I'm so ashamed and angry at myself. So if you can't think I'm more dumb than I already think I am, so I guess that's why I'm posting it. So she tells me that it's identity theft and that this person is obviously not me on the cameras, but they just want me to come to a branch to just figure this all out and like do something. So I start driving to a branch, because when they had called me, I was walking out of the grocery store. So I was already in my car, and I said, and I'm thinking like my money's being stolen. So I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way right now. I go to the branch, and on my way to the branch, she starts just like saying to me that the branch that I am currently going to is under investigation, because she asked me, she goes, is this the branch you're going to? And she named the address. She had that information. So they know where I'm banking. They know where I'm going to go. Like, and so basically she tells me that this branch is under investigation and that I need you to go in there and try and withdraw X amount of cash, but the teller should not let you do it. So we need to just make sure that the teller's not in on it. And in order to do that, we just need to make sure she's not willing to give you any cash. And part of this is making sense to me. I'm like, okay, I guess, like, and obviously every time I speak this, or like this has been on my mind for 24 hours. Like, I can't live it down. And obviously, when this person's telling me all this, I'm in a state of panic, thinking like my shit is being like stolen, and I need to do this in order to keep my stuff safe. And yes, it's dumb, but that was my mindset in that moment. So I'm doing the thing. She tells me, go in there, keep me on the phone, put me in your pocket or purse or whatever. This lady is very kind, American accent. Not that wouldn't make her not kind, but that was just, I think, like, when you think scam, you're thinking you're gonna get somebody foreign, or possibly like some sort of accent, or you can tell in some way, or it sounds like a call center. Like, no, none of those red flags were happening. And she tells me, okay, go in the bank and withdraw, and you are now part of this investigation, so just try and grab as much detail as you can. She goes, I understand this is an emotional situation. You are a victim of identity theft. Please take this seriously. You're a victim. And they got me. And long story short, I don't know. They had me convinced that the cash I pulled out was fraudulent cash. and that I needed a carrier to pick it up. Somebody needed to drive to my house and a courier was to pick it up because that's fraudulent cash. And if I were to touch it, I am now part of the FBI. And obviously every time I say this, I want to shake my head empty and like bang my head against the table because like how stupid could I be? And I even like said to myself and told this woman on the phone, I'm not giving money over to a courier until I have replaced money. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm like arguing with her and they are so persistent. And she was like, well, if this, like, and I'm thinking like, well, if this was a scam, like they'd probably just give up at this point. Cause I've called them scammers multiple times at this point. I'm telling them like, you're scamming me. Why would I do this? They got me. They got me so good. Like, I am so stupid. So stupid. Anyway, long story short, I take all of my cash that I withdrawed and I gave it to a US bank courier that was parked outside of my residence. I did that. I voluntarily gave over my money. They got me that good. I am 23 years of age. I am aware of these scams and I'm so stupid. That's like the grief I'm going through. Like, I can't even say the number. Like, I can't put myself through that embarrassment, but just know I've been saving it for a long time and it was my nest egg and it was possibly going to get me some sort of property so I don't have to rent anymore. Like, I've worked for that for almost 10 years now. I've worked since I was 15 years old and it's just taken away from me, but it wasn't. I gave it to them. And that's the part that rips me to shreds. So I'm just posting this so people can see it and not do it. Luckily, I'm okay. It wasn't all my money. I'll be able to pay my rent. I'll be able to eat. But it's just so disheartening that all I've worked for is not ripped away from me. I handed it over. And so, person, if you're watching this, good job, I guess. You deserved it. I was stupid enough and you worked me good enough to earn that money. So I'm the dumb one. I'm the idiot. But if your bank calls you, hang up and call your bank. Just please. And I don't know if I'm going to post this or leave it up or whatever, but whoever sees this, like, just know I'm violently embarrassed and I feel dumb enough, so you don't have to call me dumb. And if you see me in person, don't bring it up. But be careful and protect your things. Protect yourself.
She knew all the warning signs, yet one convincing phone call still cost her years of savings. Her biggest mistake wasn't trusting strangers, it was trusting the caller ID.